is time. It is time to brew your best beer. Brought to you by Beer Grains Supply Company, Brewtubers Online Brewers Club, Brew UK, Panhead Brewery, Tanner Ritchie, Finney's Homebrew Emporium, Brig Selv, Hackney Brewery, Hashigo Sake, Mangrove Jacks, Sprig and Fern Tavern, Yakima Valley Hops.
Alright, it's time for another beer review. Last two on my schedule. So we have a, what is this? This is a dark wheat. I've never heard of a dark wheat, so it's likely his own homebrew. It's perfect. What did the original gravity 1046, final gravity 1010, the IBUs 18, and they used Hawaii yeast 3638 Bavarian wheat. Cool. Pale 2-row, wheat malt, Munich malt, tar pills, chocolate malt, crystal 60, and special B with Halito hops. So nice label, Canadian. I like it. All right, let's pop this open. A little hiss there. It's good. It's always a good sign. Firm bottle. Get a nose on it. It does smell like a wheat beer. It's interesting. I kind of imagine that this will be a darker beer, which it is. Nice, almost like a brown ale. And we'll just leave that there because he said it's bottle conditioned. It's pretty dark. For where I'm looking though, it does have, you can see sort of like a light orangey red brown at the bottom where the light goes through, but for the most part it looks like a brown or a dark amber. Not a lot of head on it, but you know, it doesn't matter. I don't like all the foam myself, but for appearance wise, it's hard to tell for clarity because it's dark beer, but what I can see looks pretty good for wheat beer. So off the top, yeah, there is yeah, you can, I think it's the wheat I'm smelling. A little bit, there's not a lot of chocolate in it, or unless that's that might be the special B I'm smelling. I've used that before on a bigger beer and it was similar, but it does have a distinctive smell. It's not really overly hoppy, so I'm thinking I'm smelling the wheat malt and the special B. Alright, let's give this a taste. Okay, there, your first hit. There is some bittering hops, though it was only 18 IBU. Try it again. Carbonation is fine. There's a lot of small bubbles, so it's been conditioned long enough. You get the dark roast. You know, I'm not really getting the. I think he said that there was chocolate in there. Let me double check on that. That special B chocolate malt. I don't get a lot of the chocolate malt right now, but I think I'm getting the special B, which is a real dark roast. And caramel 60 is hard to pull out. This initially looks like a really heavy beer, but it's not. It's pretty clean. It's sort of medium to average drinking, so you'd be able to drink this. It's likely because it probably has a big enough wheat malt on it. Yeah, it's a nice version of it. I'm getting a little bit of a, and I don't know how much wheat he has in that, but I've made wheat beers before, and it has that little bit of almost like a light sourness to it, and you know, that's one of those things you like or you don't like. I often I'll try to do an 80-20 split, 20 on the wheat, maybe 80 on something else. This may be a little bit higher. You maybe did a 30 or 40%. But usually with that much wheat, you get a stronger head on it. So maybe it's the roast. Nice beer. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to sit here and sip on it for a while, and we'll make our final notes. Nice job. Alright, ready to do the last part. For the aroma, it stayed fairly clean. There is sort of a different sort of flavor in there that's hard to pull out, and I noticed it at the beginning and on the smell. So it's I've used Halito hops before and wheat, and I'm thinking it's rather the maybe the amount of wheat, or it's the it may be the type of yeast, and I've never used a Bavarian one. So it has a sort of a distinctive flavor. It's not something, you know, it's not an off flavor. It gives it a certain type of character. I think the beer is a good marriage between two things. They've taken a wheat beer and added more character to it, which I like, because I tend to find wheat beers, I'm not a big fan of them, because they sometimes, depending on the brewer, they sometimes tend to be a little bit too sour, and it's not my I usually I prefer IPAs or a dark beer, and in this case this sort of, I think, is a good improvement on a wheat beer. So good job, I like it. Good spot. Good job. Talk to you later.